Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Welcome to Hoopin with Christy and Debbie right here on the Her Hoop Stats Podcast Network. I am Christy Winters Scott, joined as always by my dear friend Debbie Antonelli right here. And as you can see, we have a very, very special guest with us on this episode. It is Deanna Nolan, aka Tweety, three-time WNBA champion, and listen, the most lethal pull-up jumper with the release point to the heavens. Oh my goodness! Oh my God, Tweet, welcome to our podcast today. Flint, Michigan, own a Flintstone, if you will, who I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, could dunk in the high school warm-up line. Talk to me about that.
So it wasn't warm-up line. It was like sometimes practice, sometimes an open gym. At first it started off with like a tennis ball. Then I worked my way up to a volleyball. And I could never like fully grip the basketball, but I could get up there.
Oh, yeah, you could get up there. Yeah, you could. That jumper. Oh my goodness. First of all, three-time champ in the WNBA with the Detroit Shock. Take us back to those moments in time. You're a pioneer of the WNBA. Everyone is saying hashtag welcome to the W, but we need to welcome people back to that time of the W, the packed gym in Detroit, in those arenas, and winning those titles there.
Well, the first one is always special considering how the previous season was for us. We went from worst to first. And we were always just underdog the whole year, but we knew what squad we have, and we just came together, especially as a young group. And then we just pulled off what was history in the making, basically. And just after that, you just always, after your first one, you just always want to get another one. And we were fortunate to do that, out of in 6 years. So, That's something that you always remember. And last year, they brought everybody back to Detroit to celebrate 20 years since we won our first one.
Wow.
That's so cool. That is so great that they recognized you guys. I was there for most of those championships because I was the TV announcer for the Indiana Fever, and a lot of those Eastern Conference finals were between Detroit and Indiana, and Indiana just with Tamika Catchings just couldn't get past you guys, Tweety.
Well, yeah, that's true. There were always good matchups, back and forth. But you guys did get past as 2009?
9.
Was that the year you guys won?
12.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, but there was always good rivalries with Catchings, with Hoffman. It was just always good rivalries, and the crowds were great at both arenas.
Yeah.
Well, Tweety, you, to my estimation, left the game kind of early. Like, I want to say disappear, but where have you been? What have you been doing? Because when I watch Kelsey Mitchell or when I watch Courtney Williams, I can see if people didn't remember or know your game, that's who you were. That's the way you played. You were quick, athletic, and Christy already talked about your vertical.
Kangaroos.
So basically in 2009, after we were relocated to Tulsa, before I hadn't signed, renewed my contract with Detroit, I had verbally committed to signing. So when the team moved, in which we had no idea because I was already overseas at the time, they basically told me I had to go to Tulsa. So I was like, that's not going to happen. So I just stopped playing. I signed it. I had my rights, and I just stopped playing at WNBA and just continued to play in Europe, overseas. That's what happened.
Have you retired from playing, or are you still playing?
I haven't been officially retired. I mean, I just turned 45.
Oh, come on. Diana's 42.
Oh, I know I still can play. I know I still can play. And it's crazy because the way that my career ended wasn't even on my terms. I was playing in 2018, just catch football in the off season. I was supposed to sign with another team overseas. stepped in a divot, thought I sprained my heel. I ruptured my plantar fascia.
Oh.
It took 9 months to heal. I was 38 at the time, and I kind of just like missed my window as an older player of signing somewhere else because it took 9 months. And it happened on my birthday at my high school tailgate, which is crazy.
Oh my!
Not a good memory.
Oh,
So
what was your high school? What high school did you go to there in Flint?
Flint Northern.
Flint
They
North.
closed. It's closed now. It's crazy. First they closed it, then it became a charter school, and now it's nothing. It's just abandoned.
Oh,
Tweety,
wow.
I want to take you back to your Georgia days because you were balling back then, playing with some of the all-time greats, playing for Andy Landers. Tell us a little bit about your experience and your relationship with Andy, and how connected that group of Georgia alum are.
Coach Landers. Coach Landers. Coach Landers is Coach Landers. He's gonna tell you how it is. He wants to get the best out of you. He's hard-nosed. And I just remember some practices, he just sitting on the sidelines with his Mountain Dew and his cigar. He's not smoking it. He just always chews on it. And we just sprinting probably like 50 to 100 times, just like, go. And we're just like, oh my God. And he don't care. He just go. And we're like, oh my God, how many more of these? I don't know. We probably did something in practice that we weren't supposed to do. You know how it goes. But yeah, playing in Georgia was like a coming out party for me, as for people like getting to know like my game and who I am. And I've always been just not an unselfish player, so to speak. So I was always trying to share the ball instead of like being more aggressive into what I can do in my skills and to showcase that. But he kind of like forced that out of me, if you know what I mean, just to step it up because he's seen the potential in me. So he kind of like, started that and navigated that because, all my toughness and that athleticism came from Flint. But then he drew out what I can do out of me.
Yeah.
Put it onto the court. You know what I mean? And that just kind of translated to the WNBA, in which also Bill drew out of me more. But playing in Georgia was always memorable. Kelly and Coco, just playing with those guys. We were like one of the first 3 to be drafted top 10. Yeah. So I always remember those games, and we were like a tough backcourt.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
What was it about your experience that maybe why did you hold yourself back? Why did it take someone else to find that inside you to make you believe that you could be this great player, elite, not just your athleticism? You knew you had elite athleticism. What was it that allowed you to compete at the highest level?
I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's just being shy or just like waiting for my turn, in which it could have been my turn right from the beginning. It's just a matter of, I guess, just being confident. Like he said, it's just seeing your game develop and, want to get better and want to learn how to shoot, want to play defense, and just translate that on both ends of the court, because I was a two-way player. I've always been a two-way player, defensively and offensively. Maybe I was just focused on defense. I don't know, but it had to translate to the other side of the game for me too.
Right. And when you think about that mentality that Debbie was referring to, what was it about your childhood and your maturation as a young woman to be able to tap into that level of toughness? And, growing up in Flint, what was that like for you? And how did you learn from that at the next level?
So basically, growing up, I always play with guys. I didn't play with girls until like 6th grade when I started playing like organized basketball. So growing up, I had to do what they did. They were jumping higher. They were running faster. I was playing football, baseball, or track. As we say, we call it hood gymnastics, back flipping off everything. So it was like what they did, I had to do it. It kind of just translate over to the court to where I could see myself a step or two better than the average girl, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's like in middle school, I'm slapping a backboard or stuff like that. You can just tell that I was a step or two, a little better. But yeah, that's how it was.
Tell us where your nickname came from, because if you say Tweety, people know who we're talking about. If you say Nolan, they might have to take them a minute to figure it out.
So back at Georgia, myself, Deanna, we had a trainer, Deanne, and then we had another player, Diana. And then I could already jump high. And then back then I used to have a little side ponytail, and I kind of looked like a Tweety bird. So that's where the nickname Tweety came from.
That's
so
good.
it kind of like matched everything to get to more fulfill the nickname of the ponytail and flying. So yeah.
Tweety, when you look at where the college game is now and where the WNBA is, with the celebrity, the incredible brands that the players can build, the amount of ratings and attendance, all the increase in growth, what does that make you feel like? How do you feel about all that?
It's exciting to see how much the game has come from where it started. It's crazy. Like NIL deals in college now. You can actually negotiate your contracts with actual team of 10 times more than what we were making, So it's very exciting to see that it's being put on a map, even with celebrities. Everybody is becoming a household name. So it's very exciting to see it. It's only getting better. It's crazy how, I just made a video for Enrique because she just broke my all-time scoring record in Dallas. And I did it in 9 years. She did it in 5 years. And it lets you know what kind of players are coming out of college into the WNBA, just skilled and just on a scoring threat, just scoring your scores.
Right. And where do you see the game going from here? I know where we are right now. I know the game that Debbie was on this past weekend had a peak viewership of 2.2 million on an NFL Sunday that outdid the NFL on a Sunday. Where do you see the WNBA going and growing to moving forward?
Well, I hope still increased pay. Hopefully we get to the millions like the men game is. Just like you said, increased viewers globally, not just in America. Only to see it only way up from here, hopefully. Even more sponsorships and just with everybody, because when you look at the NBA, 80% of the league who's on what team or what their game is, and the WA is there, but it's not quite there yet. It's just want across the bench everybody to know who the players are.
Right. And just to expound on that, like the connection and the connectivity, the brotherhood and sisterhood of the NBA and the WNBA. I'm here in DC, so a couple of years ago, we had Kyle Kuzma and Monte Morris here, and they're friends. And I know, Mateen Cleaves, and, the connectivity of those kinds of relationships and what Kobe Bryant, the late, great Kobe Bryant, was trying to do and to bring the respectability to the game as it should have been. But I think when you have these NBA players who can continue to pour in, be courtside. I mean, Spike Lee was sitting and touched Sabrina Ionescu's hand yesterday and said that she was injected with New York in that moment and went on to just dominate in the second half. So what is that like to know and have connections with players like Kuz and Tay and Mateen Cleaves?
Well, it's a good connection. I don't talk to Kuz and Monte much, but me and Mo, we call him Mo, here and there we talk. Charlie Bell, he's also Flintstone. We talk here and there. It's just cool just to know that they respect you as a player, as a woman in the game itself, and you just see how it's growing because, like you said, you're seeing all those connections with NBA, celebrities, WNBA, even actors. So it's only good. And it's just crazy. Hopefully they'll bring a team back to Detroit. I know they have 3 new expansion teams now. So it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Tweety, what do you want people to remember about your game as a legacy? And then what are your fondest memories of playing?
Oh, I want everybody to remember me as, like I said, just offensive player, defensive player. Like you said, beautiful jump shot, athleticism, leaping ability, Just an overall great player. Had mid range. I can shoot the three. I can play defense. Anything that was needed to win that game. That was me.
What's some of your good memories? Like any good stories you could share with us? Something that maybe somebody doesn't know about you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Something you can keep G-rated now.
Oh, oh man.
Wait,
Don't you remember?
Don't you have a restaurant?
Oh yeah, my wife and I, we own a wine bar. It's downtown Utica, Michigan.
Sweet.
It's called Vino and Vibes. We both like wine. We both like music. But she's a level 1 sommelier, and I DJ, so that's where you get your Vino and Vibes from. But we both like music. I listen to mostly like house music, deep house, and stuff like that. But we've been there 3.5 years. We signed our lease 2 days before the first shutdown of 2020. So when everything shut down, we couldn't start construction or anything till August, and we closed in March. But we were thankful to open in February of 21, and it's been great. But a little after COVID, we had to open up at 25%, which was only 18 people for us, but it was still great for us because we're first-time business owners. So it gave us time to get used to the systems, the flow, and just see where everything is and meet the people of the community, they have been very supportive. So it's been great.
I love that. Well, we know what the vibes are, but what's a good vino? Like, give us some suggestions.
So I'm a Chardonnay girl. I mean, we drink everything, but I like Chardonnay. And she likes all, so she can tell you everything about wines. I can tell you a little bit, but mostly we drink Chards. We drink a lot of sparkling, some reds here and there, depending on what we're eating. So it's cool.
I love
Tweety,
that.
what do you think your give back to the game is? What's your give back?
As for what do you mean? Like
you've mentioned your legacy and some good memories, but when you've experienced all that you've experienced and you've been able to play at an elite level for a long time, what's your give back? Like, what do you want people to know about competing at that level, or striving to be better than people think you might be able to be, or what's your your inspiration for others?
Oh, well, just continue to grow your craft, continue to get better. Just always put in the work. Don't stop working hard. Don't come in thinking you have to be one thing for your team to be or need. You can do it on both sides of the court. If somebody needs you to go get a rebound or steal or get a bucket, just keep working at your craft. That's what I do.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead. Would you ever consider coaching, and not just in the WNBA, but just at all, anywhere, and going to what Debbie was saying, like giving back in that way, not just by saying things, but like, what would you want to do at kind of the grassroots level, possibly, or even?
Well, I got you. Yeah, I've always wanted to coach, but I never knew at what level. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know, like, maybe at a young age, just to lay the foundation for players and let them understand the game, or just hop right into, I don't know, college or professional level. But I always wanted to coach. But when I opened the wine bar, I just don't have time at all. Like, after 6 years, it's funny because I tried to go to a park with my nephew. He's 15. After 6 years trying to play, oh my God, y'all should have saw me after 2 hours. 2 hours being out there, oh my God, my gut was hurting. My foot was hurting. I think I couldn't walk for like a week, but it was good to get back out there.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, there's so many, the expansions are popping every year. There's this next season, there are going to be 2 new teams. And then in 2026, Portland is going to have a team. I mean, the opportunities will be there. And I'm not putting you on the spot, or maybe I am, but the game would love to invite you back. I'm speaking for the entire game right now. But I mean, we would love to see you marching on a sideline or on a staff and pouring into the game that you helped build. I think it would be a beautiful thing. And I'm a mom of 3, so I'm kind of being very, trying to put my own will on it a little bit. But I mean, I think it would be a beautiful thing to maybe tap into. We need more of the former players to come back to the game.
Yeah.
Everybody watches women's sports. I mean, it's at an all-time high, and there's questions of, this new rookie class coming in, and now charter flights and all these things are changing. But I still think, if there has to be, a push-pull of that, can't it be, everyone that gave to the game so much on the court can continue to give it with a whiteboard in their hands as well?
Yeah, I mean, if the opportunity presents itself and I literally have time to do it, we'll see, because like I said, when I was just playing a couple months ago, I was out there trying to coach still. And then my mom and my wife always says, like, you need to get into coaching, because I'm always screaming at the TV, even if it's like football or something. I'm like, what do you
You can't turn that competitive drive off. You can't turn it off. It's always there.
Yeah,
it is.
Two things for me. I'm sorry about Mickey. I should have been wearing Tweety. Okay. And you and I subscribe to a very similar philosophy. I don't eat much, but I drink everything. So I'll leave it at that, Tweety.
I love
That's it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I said it's crazy because we started like 2019, like starting a bar, getting it together, and we started like tasting wines. And to this date, I think we've tasted over like 1,200 different wines, because my wife always keep like a catalog in her notes, because the wines that we have, they're not commercially in the stores or grocery stores. We like to focus on like the small wineries, biodynamic, organic, women-made wines or women-owned. So what you see from our wine list, you won't see anywhere around. And if you do, we take it off, because it's like, that's not what we want. Yeah.
You know what, Christy, we, Tweety has the wine bar. Erica Wheeler has a restaurant in Atlanta. I think we should get our listeners to start throwing at us all the former players and their investment. They're all small business owners. I mean, I know if I'm in Flint or if I have a game at Michigan or Michigan State, I'm definitely coming over to see Tweety. And when I'm in Atlanta, Erica Wheeler's place, I've already been to it. It's not far from the airport. So
cool.
I just think those are things that, like we can help with, like putting the word out. Like I think all women's basketball fans would love to support your ventures business-wise, because we've gotten so much enjoyment from watching you play.
Yeah. And also we have small plates. We focus on cheese and charcuterie. We have paninis, we have salads, baked brie, truffle fries. So we have something for everybody. We have a full bar. We have mocktails. We have beer. We have cider. We have sake.
You had me at wine. You had me at wine.
Oh my goodness. I'm in there. All plates.
Yeah.
I'm in that. Yeah. I know. I think Tamika Catchings has something, and I think Rebecca also.
Tamika has a tea shop in Indianapolis. Yes, tea and me.
And Brunson has something. Doesn't Rebecca Brunson have something too?
Oh, I don't know.
She does. I think it's ice cream. Yeah.
I think
Angel
McCautry used to have ice cream. I don't know if she still has it, but those are the things like tell our listeners, throw it at us so we can talk about it on our next show.
Yeah.
For sure. Come on and visit me in downtown Utica.
You got it, Tweety. You never know when we might pop in.
Listen, I will be in there. I'm going to definitely be in there. And I guess the last thing, A'ja Wilson, MVP for the 3rd time. I mean, you were excellent with 3 championships in the WNBA. She now has 2 titles and going for a 3rd, but 3 MVPs for A'ja Wilson. What's your assessment of how she's been able to perform?
Man, she's just been dominating the game. at all aspects. She can face up. She can take you off the dribble. She can pull up the three. She can take you down low, go get you 15 plus rebounds. So she's just been dominating and make it look so easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I've never seen anybody at 6'5" as fit as she is, Tweety. I say that all the time on the air. I just never seen anybody like her.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And when I see her, especially highlights, and if I get to catch like a quarter or something, it's just crazy how easy and smooth it looks for her. It's just
easy. It's crazy.
So graceful, and a lefty.
And a lefty. How about that? How about that? Well, any parting words, Tweety, for your Flintstone family and your WNBA family, Detroit Shockers, who are, I mean, I know it was Detroit, I'm saying Shockers because the fans.
Yeah, I know.
Detroit Shock family that still love and respect you so much.
Oh, so I forgot to mention this. It just came to mind when we were about to, end it. I was just inducted into the 2024 Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, which would be October 17th at MGM. So they called literally on a Tuesday.
Awesome.
And then the next day on Wednesday, I'll be they called Flint Sports Hall of Fame, and that'll be in December.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm already in a Flint African American Sports Hall of Fame. This is just a Greater Flint Sports Hall of Fame.
I'm sitting
You have a resume for the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and that'll be coming one day for sure. You can't win as much as you won and play at the elite level that you played so consistently, Tweety, for so long. I'm just so glad that we can get reconnected, introduce you back to the game, let people know about your restaurant so that they can, visit when they're in town and
for sure,
and stay connected with you.
Yes.
Yeah. You know where to reach me. I'm always here. I'm lay low kind of girl. Just stay in my lane and do my thing.
Oh, I love it. Well,
Great.
You are beautiful inside and out, and we love what you have done for the game, what you are continuing to do for the game. You're being inducted into all these Hall of Fames because there's so much reverence for what you have been able to carry for this game. And hopefully one day you'll have that whiteboard in your hand and continue to do so for our beautiful game of women's basketball or basketball in general. But thank you so much, Tweet, for your time today.
Thanks for having me,
Debbie.
So great. Great to see you, Tweety. Such great memories of watching you.
Yeah. Oh, very sweet. Well, thank you guys so much for listening in today. That's going to do it for us right here on the Her Hoop Stats Podcast Network. For Debbie Antonelli, for Tweety Nolan. I'm not even going to say Deanna because we never said it anyway. Tweety Nolan. Shoulder. I saw you. Yes. No, we love y'all so much. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.